What's up, guys? Dom here with Restricted America. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. So some big update from GOAL, Gun Owners Action League of Massachusetts. This is for everybody that is interested or has a stake in the fight against H4A85, now known as Chapter 135, an atrocious gun bill that was passed in Massachusetts. And is now in action. It's now currently being enforced, most parts of it. But we have been waiting on Gun Owners Action League because they are kind of at the forefront of coordinating the fight against it. They have put out an article on their own website, which anyone can go read, but I'm going to read from that directly. It's going to be directly off of their website that I'm reading. And I'll try to include the link in the website as in the description as well. So it's titled Chapter 135 GOAL Court Action Update 10/29/2024. For several months, GOAL has been coordinating with groups around the country concerning the new law. We are trying to act as a sort of air traffic control for many actions brought. This is to make sure efforts are not duplicated and resources are being directed effectively. This will likely take years in court before anything is settled. Here's what GOAL has coordinated so far. First filing, which many of you probably already know about, but I'm going to read it anyway. Initial GOAL case, Theodore et al. Versus Campbell, involved the new training requirements and the licensing process. These two issues were chosen first because it could have potentially closed off the Second Amendment to those not yet licensed in Massachusetts. Additionally, license renewals are a serious problem as the local licensing authorities are not being given any guidance, and some are refusing to issue licenses, citing the new law. Keep in mind that the mandatory training for law enforcement on Chapter 135 has been suspended for 18 months. Almost as soon as GOAL filed the court action, the state issued a guidance letter suspending those pieces of Chapter 135. Our position is that this has no effect on our lawsuit. Guidance letters can be rescinded at any time, leaving citizens at risk. Citizens are still having to wait ridiculous amounts of time to get an appointment to submit their application. We are told New Bedford appointments are now a year out. The licensing regime itself is a hot mess and needs to be challenged. Next GOAL filing. So the next case we plan to file has to do with the new long gun roster and testing requirements. It will also involve other retailer mandates. As soon as it became known that GOAL was drafting this next court action, the state issued another guidance letter suspending the long gun roster piece of Chapter 135. There seems to be a pattern here. We are moving forward with this action regardless of any guidance, which I think is a great idea. Other actions. National Rifle Association, Firearms Policy Coalition, Gun Owners of America, and GOAL have joined together to pursue action against the new assault-style firearms laws, the prohibition on FID card holders of any age possessing any semi-automatic, and we are adding in the carry ban on 18 to 20-year-olds. We hope to see this filed very soon. GOAL has also worked to set up a group to tackle the massive non-resident issues. In Chapter 135, we will not be taking this on directly as we are focusing our resources on the resident 2A community for the time being. When this effort comes together, we will let folks know. So that's huge. The fact that the NRA, FPC, GOA, and GOAL are all working on a single. From what I'm reading, a single case. I'll have to follow up on that and see, make sure that it's not separate cases. But that's huge. That's a lot of resources going into one case, a lot of, experienced lawyers, resources, everything. So I'm excited about that. And everyone that has a stake, that's a stakeholder in this, should be optimistic about that and, really get on board with it. Next part that they have is outside action. There's another retailer action brought by Mass Armament on a host of issues that will impede lawful commerce and likely put many retailers out of business. GOAL is not directly involved in this case, but we are in contact with them. So that's great. I did already mention that case, the Mass Armament case. We went a little bit more specific into that, but again, there still isn't a ton of resources on that. If any more information comes up about that, I will definitely update you guys. And then they just basically listed the cases that they're already working on right now. The state level challenges. So the Donnell case, has to do with non-resident licensing, and that's in the Lowell District Court. Basically, Goal filed an amicus brief in the Donnell case that originated at the state district court level. It concerned 7 different non-resident defendants that were charged with possession of a firearm without a temporary license to carry, non-resident. The district court, citing Bruen, declared the felony charge to be unconstitutional. The Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court took the case directly. Oral arguments were heard on October 9th, 2024, and we are awaiting a decision. The next case is Belchertown suitability. Eastern Hampshire District Court, Doran versus Pacunas. In February of 2024, the Belchertown Mass Firearm Licensing Authority denied resident Connor Doran a firearms license due to being determined unsuitable. That denial was appealed with the help of attorney Dan Hagan of Springfield. In District Court, Judge Bruce S. Malikian ruled against Belchertown, stating that the denial was overly broad, vague, and therefore arbitrary and capricious. After the judge ruled, the town then hired a Boston law firm. That firm filed a motion on behalf of Belchertown for a hearing to present further evidence. Court's decision. That motion was denied. As a result, the town is bringing the case to the appellate court. Goal has stepped in to help fund the appeal on this very important and potentially historic case. So that's obviously also good. There's a ton of suitability stuff going on all over the country, especially in New York, which the Second Court of Appeals just upheld New York State's, suitability stuff that's going on. So, someone needs to keep fighting this, and I'm glad that their, Goal is helping out with this and getting this fought. The last case they have listed here is Westbrook case, and that's also with suitability. It's Westbrook versus Pratt, Holyoke District Court docket. There is another suitability case where the district court ruled that denial of a license was unconstitutional, citing the Supreme Court of the United States. Holyoke is appealing the ruling, and Goal is supporting the district court's ruling for the appeal. So that's the whole page, guys. I mean, this is great news. I did kind of allude to some of this stuff, although I didn't really have specific information. I was just more guessing. But I'm glad that all of this stuff is going on. I'm glad that Goal has plans, and that they're being transparent with it. I know they're trying to not, announce everything that they're doing right away, because as you can see, the state just keeps creating new loopholes for themselves to get out of all these lawsuits, but Goal is sticking with them, and I'm proud of them for doing that. This is going to be a tough fight for the tyrannical government that is Massachusetts, and I hope that everybody can get on board, fund Goal, continue to fund the Civil Rights Coalition. Let's get any of these big groups as well, if you're not already parts of them, like FPC, GOA, NRA, that are fighting these cases for us as well. I know a lot of you are already members. Probably have been waiting for this for a while, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen soon, and hopefully it is successful. So that is all for today, guys. I hope you enjoy these types of videos. If you do, make sure to give it a like, leave a comment or concern, and if you're not subscribed, make sure to do that now. Other than that, stay informed and stay unrestricted.